When I was very young, elementary school, middle school, I really wanted to be a veterinarian. And I wanted to be a veterinarian because I loved animals. I always had dogs. And then I got this one crazy dog whose name was Spoochie. And this idiot dog kept getting hit by cars. And like 7 times. And 7 times I'd be carrying this bloody, broken dog into the veterinarian's office saying, please fix my dog. And I realized that I could never do that. I could never be the person who was facing those kids with those broken animals, because it made me too sad. You know, it was really accidental. A friend of mine came to visit me one day, and he lived in Houston, Texas. And he said, he went into my restaurant I worked at. He told my boss I was quitting, and he went to my roommate and said that I was moving out. And I was like, oh great, I have no place to live and I don't have a job, so I'll move to Texas. And when I moved to Texas, it was actually a good idea because I kind of got my act together and I started working in education, and I worked at an education resource center, and I was kind of like the film librarian there, although I didn't have the degree. And then I came back to Boston and I got a job in Boston, and I worked in the film and video library over in Dorchester, Campbell Resource Center, and one thing led to another, and I ended up getting my library degree and becoming a librarian. A fabulous librarian. I have so many students that I'm just crazy about here. I have my Child Corps kids that I've been working with since they started. I have, you know, Gerry. This kid is just amazing. Every time he sees me, he goes flying across the room and he'll run up and hug me. And, you know, I have a bunch of kids that that just kind of, I think they get my sense of humor, and they know that I am here for them. And the reason that I'm with high school kids is because I love high school kids. I kind of look at them as my captive audience. That if I have kids in a classroom, they have to sit and listen to me. And if they want to do well, they'll laugh at whatever I say. So this job is really more like a stand-up for me than it is being a librarian. I just was up in Ms. Freeman's class, and she had her students do the top 10 reasons why Mr. Watson should not retire. And the #1 reason was, you're hilarious. So I was pretty flattered about that. Listen, this is the best job I've ever had. I have loved my years here. I treasure this job. I have defined myself for the last 8 years as that I am the librarian at Boston Latin School. I still have students who graduated 3, 4, 5, 6 years ago who friend me on Facebook and send me emails, and it was just a terrific experience. I want to make everybody, that's what I wanted to make clear, that it was for no other reason than it was just time for me to move on.
Mr. Watson was when I signed up to be in the library, and I sat down with a girl. And then he walks by and says, Gerry, take out some work and do something besides that girl.
He's treated kids who are sick. He's found kids who briefly became lost. His antenna for problem solving are first rate. He's just, in short, quite the resourceful guy and a pretty awesome, awesome individual.
Dear Mr. Watson, you're my friend, a true inspiration. I will miss our tea parties. I love you and will miss you.
Was this supposed to be a candid, and I'm not supposed to know that you're shooting me?